Hello, this is the fifth dimension, and I am doing a general reading for the sign of Aries. I am going to bring in a person that was significant in your life that has passed, and even though they are in heaven, they still stand beside you here on earth. So if you feel intuitively that someone who has passed stands around you, or you can feel their presence at different times, just know that you are in fact feeling that. You are not losing your mind. So I'm going to validate that by identifying the person who has passed that was significant in your life and is still around you here on earth as an extra level of love and support. And this is for the sign of Aries. I have meditated and pre-shuffled the cards that I use. I also use some other tools to help me with characteristics so that we can hone in and narrow in and validate that I am correct. I am bringing in the right person for you. And it saves a lot of time. And so I'd like to just go ahead and get started. I first want to say that this is a male who passed around 36 years of age. He may have been Asian descent. He may have been half Asian and half something else. And the reason why I say that is I see that he is Asian, but when I pulled an eye color, I received blue. So that kind of told me that possibly he wasn't 100% Asian. He might have had a mix of two different nationalities or ethnicities. But he was a really good guy. I mean, he gave support in difficult situations. He was very supportive for you in your life. He came through when things got difficult. I, I, I see that at some point he met someone, and I believe it was a female, and he became business partners with this person, or he talked this person into investing some money in something. And I'm sorry to bring this up, especially because I know this is your loved one, but he misrepresented what he was wanting this woman or business partner to invest in. And he knew it. I mean, he had hopes that what he had sold her was not just a pipe dream, but that it was a legitimate, lucrative investment. But it involves some land, and he talked this business partner into investing some of her money, and that the land had some value to her or to them as a partnership. This was strictly business. I believe. I don't think this was a romantic person in his life, but she did give him funds. And to make a long story short, things did not plan out the way he had promised her. She felt she had met a nefarious person after things kind of went awry in this land deal that he had with this woman. About 3 months went by after the cat was out of the bag, or just the information was made known to this other investor that this land was not going to yield what this young gentleman that passed had promised her it would. About 3 months passed, and she did pursue charges, and this young man who passed, he did go to prison, or he might have been on probation. I would say for 32 months approximately, or he was in jail approximately 29 to 32 months as a result of this situation. I believe it might have even been like a federal court indictment, possibly. But so he got released from prison. He served his time, or he served his probation. He never was able to give the woman back her money, and this brought him a lot of heartache and pain. And he turned to drugs and alcohol. And I don't know if that is which one exactly contributed to his death, but he just kind of spiraled down and was not able to recover. And he did pass about 36 years of age. But you know, this is your loved one and he loves you and you loved him. And so, all of that aside, I just wanted to get into that so that you could validate that I did have some personal details on this person that is kind of one of your angels here on earth. Um, but let's get into who he was, because I mean, he was a great show of support for you. He was there for you when times were difficult. Irregardless of all of this side stuff, he was there for you, and that was important to you, and you loved him very much. I drew some letter cards to kind of hone in on this person's first, middle, or last name. And any of these letters can encompass any of those three names. So I'm going to show you what the cards are. And hopefully this will help you out some. Oh, actually, I asked for 3 and I received 5. So I received a V, an R, a T, a P, and a J. So these letters are significant to this young man in some way, shape, or form. Someone else I did a reading for told me that their initials and the person that had passed were in the letters that I had pulled. So I thought that was really cool, and now I know that that's a possibility too. The spirit is wonderful. So you just never know. VRTPJ. All right. I also pulled some numbers, and what I asked the divine for is a birth month, a birth date, a death month, or a death date, or a significant event happened at a certain age. But either way, this is all numbers, and I will show you the numbers that were pulled after I prayed and meditated over the cards. I got a lot. I forgot that I got a lot for him. Can't hold it. I apologize. All right. I've got that April was significant in his life. He might have been born in the month of April or passed in the month of April. And then the other numbers are 20, 26, and 28. A significant event might have happened at the age of 28 or 20 or 26, or these could represent days, either his birthday or his death day, or just something that you know was significant to him. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. You know, I was born after Woodstock, but I see 420, and I think that drugs and alcohol were involved in his final demise. And as we know, 420 is Bob Marley's number, you know, representing marijuana. So I do want to bring that out. All right. I pulled some things that kind of let me hone in on his characteristics of his personality. I think he was into sports. He had a sports team. I think his team was either orange or red, kind of in that family. Or he liked to wear orange or red. But I have that he was a great communicator. I have that he was a great storyteller. I wrote myself some notes. Okay, I intuitively feel he was very compassionate and empathetic, and he was a harmonizer. I mean, he brought harmony to, you know, maybe a sad situation or a difficult situation, and that comforted the people around him. He loved to have fun. He laughed even at work, laughed all the time, but had a good time even working. Most of us dread work, and he actually had fun working. He was told that he talked too much, which might go back to the storyteller part, the intuitive I got regarding that. But he had trouble saying no, and he was not good at setting boundaries for himself. So this might have been what got him caught up in this past story where he really did try to sell someone what he kind of knew was a pipe dream, but he was hoping that he could make it work because he wasn't a mean person. He wasn't a devious person, but his behavior during that time was a little bit nefarious in that he thought that he could make something happen when he told someone he could make something happen when he knew in advance that he couldn't. And that may be why I'm getting these hits, but he also might have just been a good storyteller for the family. He might have remembered things when he was small and shared them with everyone else, and it caused everyone to laugh and have a good time during family events. And of course, winter was his favorite season and time of the year, but I think that's definitely reflective of football. That's kind of what I feel. I have my favorite part of doing a reading is that I pull some cards that I ask the divine if this person could say anything to their loved one, this Aries viewer that's watching right now, what would they say? And honestly, I got 3 of the most beautiful cards out of the deck. So this is going to be a little emotional, I think. I will give you, I'll save the best for last. I will always point you in the right direction. So he wants you to know that he will always point you in the right direction. He is beside you here on earth as a guide, and you don't have to worry about which direction to turn when things get difficult, because he will always point you in the right direction. And you can see a compass there. He may have had a compass that you have now as that you keep as a keepsake as one of his possessions. This is beautiful. I always give you a goodnight kiss. So just so you know, if you feel a sweep on your cheek while you're laying in bed, it is him giving you a goodnight kiss. That is absolutely beautiful. And third and finally, I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. I mean, if I was going to get a card from the deck from my loved one who has passed, this is the card that I would want to get, because we never tell each other enough how much we love each other. So just know that this beautiful man is beside you here on earth. He is fine. He kisses you goodnight, and he loves you so very much. And I'm sorry for your loss. I hope this has brought you some peace and some happiness. And thanks so much for listening to my entire reader, Aries, and I appreciate you. And this is the Fifth Dimension saying goodbye. Please subscribe, help me get started. I'm new. I really appreciate it. God bless.